We'd like to welcome you to the June 20th meeting of the Weare Board of Selectmen. And if you will please rise, we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll now have a moment of silence. Thank you. Is there anyone here tonight for public comment? It's going to be an easy evening.
Frank's not here.
It's a full moon, don't say that.
Don't put the curse on us.
Okay, next on our agenda is the swearing in of a new police officer. And I'd like to recognize our Chief of Police, Sean Kelly.
Thank you, Selectman. Selectman, this evening marks several months' work to bring a candidate before the board. As you are aware, we've been looking for qualified candidates for some time, and we've had some success, and this evening is no different. We started this most recent process by looking at the written test scores of over 200 candidates. That number was whittled down using time-proven methods that combine self-selection, community participation, and police standards mandates. In the end, after multiple interviews, an extensive background investigation, fitness, medical, and psychological testing, and a comprehensive polygraph examination, I'm pleased to introduce to the town Mr. Matthew Beltate.
Stand this way, stand there.
Just face the board for the moment. We're not there yet. Okay. Matt is 22 years old. He's not married, though he's accompanied this evening by his girlfriend of 4 years, Monique. Matt is born in Peterborough and raised in Jaffrey by his parents, Ernie and Paula. Matt has two younger sisters that are here this evening also, Katie and Rachel. Matthew's dad, Ernie, is a captain with the Peterborough Police Department. Matt graduated from Conant High School and pursued higher education at the University of New Haven in Connecticut, where he double majored, earning Bachelor of Arts in both criminal justice and psychology. Matt's time at the University of New Haven included a semester in Italy, and though our background investigator would have liked to have gone, we did not track Matt's movements through Italy. Matt's work history before coming here this evening is brief. He has shown remarkable loyalty to his former employers, all of whom have highly recommended Matt for police work. Matt will be scheduled to attend the 171st Police Academy in August of this year and anticipate graduating in December, followed by 12 weeks in the field training program, which would put him available for shifts in March of 2017. With that, Selectman Clow, I recommend to the board that you swear Matthew Beltate as a police officer for the town of Weare.
Thank you. I believe we need a motion. We did make a decision in non-public, but we need a motion in public session.
I'll make a motion that we hire Matt Beltate as a full-time police officer, probationary police officer of the town of Weare.
Is there a second?
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now you get to do that.
Our next order of business is swearing in. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Matthew Beltate,
I, Matthew Beltate,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform all the duties incumbent on me
discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me
as a full-time police officer,
as a full-time police officer,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
agreeable to the rules and regulations
agreeable to the rules and regulations
of the Constitution and laws of the state of New Hampshire.
of the Constitution and the laws of the state of New Hampshire.
So help me God.
So help me God. Thank you. Thanks.
So you want to do it right now?
Okay.
Yeah?
We're gonna
We'll do a group photo.
We're a little shorthanded. We have some people that are not here tonight because of family emergencies and so forth, but where officers want to come on up here?
Austin will hide in the back.
Yeah, that's right.
There we go.
Yeah. Who's on first?
Emily's second.
Emily needs to come up
She's
first.
hiding. There you go. That's nice.
Actually, we cannot see you at all. Emily, want to get one of the...
Yeah.
There you go.
No, there you go.
There you
There.
go. Thought you could hide, right?
Yeah. Don't use that one, he said.
Step back. One step back. All right, and then, I don't know your name. so-
Sheila.
Sheila. If you could.
Emily.
No, I guess they're pretty good. Yeah. Just pretend to like each other. So
I think, is there another place for me to sign that?
Yeah, I got,
Oh.
right above that, and then Matt's gonna sign.
if I could get the names.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Good department.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Wrestling field before me.
Matt, I
You
guess,
sign it there, yeah.
after Tom signs.
Luckily you read it. You could have been signing for a new car. Or I hit you in the army.
Your roles will be to town aware, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next 35 years.
Did you catch the
I
final?
had to delete all of them. Who are you kidding?
What's that?
Just start deleting all of them.
Thank you.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
That's what I
Did you
thought.
want me to just stay up here, or do you have other business
Yeah.
first?
Yeah, no.
I'm good.
You're good.
You're on the hot seat. You might as well stay there.
Thank you. As you well know, I like to take the opportunity to double dip as frequently as possible. So this evening, we have such an opportunity. Not only is this a wonderful evening for the department to welcome Matthew here as our new police officer, but also this is an opportunity for me to recognize the work of some of our officers. If Officer Woodrow Weatherby and Officer Sheila Savari would step up, please. This is in two parts, so I'm going to read them both through first. On Monday, May 30th, in the early afternoon, along with the Weare Fire Department, Officer Woodrow Weatherby was dispatched to a medical aid. Fortuitously, Officer Weatherby was in close proximity to the home and responded swiftly to the call for medical aid. Upon arrival, Officer Weatherby found an unconscious woman that had no pulse. Officer Weatherby applied an automated external defibrillator, otherwise known as an AED device, to the woman. The instrument determined that CPR was indicated and instructed Officer Weatherby to begin. After a cycle of CPR, the instrument instructed Officer Weatherby to shock the patient. Once the shock cycle was completed, Officer Weatherby continued CPR until instructed to shock the patient a second time. Shortly after resuming chest compressions a second time, Officer Weatherby was relieved by EMT of the Weare Fire Department. The following day, Concord Hospital reported to the Weare Fire Department that the patient was alive. For saving the life of another, the Weare Police Department awards Officer Woodrow Weatherby the Commendation Bar for life-saving. That same day, Officer Sheila Savari was also dispatched to the residence and arrived after Officer Weatherby. During the process of Officer Weatherby doing CPR and AED, Officer Savari supported him through the life-saving efforts until relieved by EMTs of the Weare Fire Department. The following day, again, Concord Hospital reported the patient was alive. For supporting the life-saving efforts made by another officer, Weare Police Department awards Officer Sheila Savari a certificate of commendation. Both of these awards will be entered into these officers' permanent files. Unfortunately, it takes longer than
It's okay.
this to get the commendation bar. So you just have to accept the letters. Thank you. Congratulations, thank you.
Chief, all three of you.
You ran away that fast.
You're not getting out of it that
They
easy.
knew they weren't getting away.
Thank you.
We had another award to give out this evening. Unfortunately, Lieutenant Hebert is not with us. He's attending to a family emergency, so we're going to continue on if you don't mind. You've asked me for a brief update on what's been happening with the Weare Police Department, so I'll give you this report. In the first 5 months of 2016, we have investigated or are currently investigating 7 sexual assaults, 15 assaults of varying degrees other than domestics, ranging from simple assaults to second-degree felonies. We've had 26 acts of stalking, threats, harassment, or domestic violence, 43 thefts, frauds, trespassing, or burglaries. We've attended to 46 crashes and have had 75 cases involving drugs, DWI, unlawful transporting of alcohol, transportation of alcohol, or underage drinking. So in other words, this very small, understaffed police department is extremely busy. During this time, as you also well know, we've had some issues with our fleet. For the first time since March 8th, our fleet was close to up to speed. Car 6 remains in its out of service status until Ford comes up with their fix, and that's still not expected until July. Car 1 was on the road for 3 days before the air conditioning compressor died, so it's back in the shop again. Car 3 is back on the road. Car 5 has been assigned to the lieutenant. Car 7 is also on the road. Car 8 is finally back on the road. Car 9 is on the road, and the animal control officer's car is on the road. So, in other words, we're not renting cars to cover shifts anymore, which is, not that we got that point, but we're close. We're dangerously close. That's it. Do you have any specifics that you'd like to ask on?
Which unit is Car 6? Is that one of the Crown Vics?
That's the newest.
The new
That's
one,
the 2014
And
Explorer.
they're still waiting on the recall for that?
Yep. Ford's not ready to go because they didn't have the parts ready for the recall. Now, just if indulge me for a second here, there's been some questions about, well, how come I see Ford Explorer Interceptors in other communities driving around? Well, the recall is on 81,000 vehicles across models and model years. It's not all 2014 Ford Interceptors like ours, and they were recalled by individual numbers, the VINs. So though ours is not working, any other community, in fact, we could have 2 cars in the same fleet in some communities that one is recalled and one is not. That's why our car is off the road. It's been recalled for its specific number, the specific VIN, and we'll tend to it as quickly as we can. Anything else?
Well, how's the overhead door?
It's fine, thank you.
They got to repair it. Some
What's that?
overhead door came and repaired it.
Yes, it's been completely replaced. Everything's been replaced. I have an email into the code enforcement officer to come over and take a double look at it to make sure that it's put in there according to the specs of the RFP, but it's certainly functioning as we'd hoped.
That's a good thing.
I know that you've told us this many times, but I think it bears repeating the process that you used to get to the point we are tonight with a new candidate. You mentioned the test scores, and those were from Great Bay Community College.
Mm-hmm.
Your 200 originals from there. Could you just pick up from there and just take 2 minutes to review the process from there that you've gone through in order to get a candidate before us tonight?
Sure. And I'm going to touch on Great Bay briefly also because there are times in between tests that we also will use the same vendor and use their test to administer a test locally. So over 200 people were looked at, their test scores were looked at, and that brought us to that. Unfortunately, a number of police officer candidates are not successful in physical fitness testing, so we front load our hiring process with that. In this case, Matthew performed very well in physical fitness. But that's not the only thing we're looking at during physical fitness. We're also looking for character. You may not be the fastest runner, or be able to do the most push-ups or the most sit-ups or be able to lift the most. But if you've shown a certain character, the type of person that suggests that they are interested in being a leader in the community, not necessarily celebrating finishing the run first, but instead going back and cheering on the other runners to success, that's the kind of candidate that we're looking for. And in this case, that's what we found in Matthew. After the physical fitness test, all of the people that passed are brought in front of an oral board for an interview. And the oral board is made up of a combination of residents from the community and police officers. We're not asking our residents to ask questions about police procedure, certainly, but we are asking them, is this the person that you want coming into your home to handle your most intimate details? The people that you want to come into your home when you're absent and somebody's broken in. And again, our oral board recommended Matthew very highly. After that, it sort of becomes programmatic. We are required by police standards and training to subject our candidates to a rigorous medical examination. They have to go through a psychological examination. And I just had a, anyway. Yeah. Fitness, medical, psychological. And then after everything is done, we send them for a background investigation. And very frankly, we simply don't have the time. So as you know, we've contracted with a former police chief that does our comprehensive background investigations. And like I said, we didn't send this guy to Italy, so he really wanted to go. And in the end, what we found, and I described for you earlier, was in Matthew's case, a candidate that met all the marks that we were looking for, and in good fashion. So it comes down to this polygraph examination, the last piece. And I get asked oftentimes, well, with how many people don't pass polygraph examinations, why don't you front load that also? Because they're pretty expensive. Excuse me. They're pretty expensive. And frankly, I don't want to catch them up front. I want to catch them, if they're going to lie to me, I want to hear it at the end after they've had the opportunity to answer questions of our oral board. They've had the answer, they've talked to our medical doctors and our psychologists, and they have to be honest throughout the process. And in this case, once again, Matthew responded entirely appropriately, and we were able to offer him to you today.
Thank you.
Anything else? And we're gonna clear out of here. And your air conditioner is going to actually start working again. We're going to take a few bodies with us.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks, guys.
Now the room will whittle down. Yeah. You're taking everybody with you.
Sounds like 5 of you.
Yeah. Turn the air conditioner. We'll be down to about 3 people now. Oh, we got Chris.
Maybe 2.
That's it.
Yes, you too. Thank you very much.
One more to go.
Yeah, you'll be good.
I just want to say, from Peterborough also, I've been so impressed. I've heard all about how the process went, how thorough you guys are. It's very, very impressive. I know, and I just listened to it again, but
Want that electronic?
very, very impressive.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Instead, you might just do that.
That's what we got to do to get things turned around here.
No, not everyone.
You know, residents, you got that one, listen to this, and then Peterborough does it a little bit different. It'd be nice if they went a little more toward Peterborough, so kind of so strict. So anyways, I get
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want me just to keep that so you don't have to send it?
I'm sorry.
You want me to just keep that so you don't have to resend it? Oh, are you sure? Okay, all right. I thought you were on.
Oh, we get
They were
Chris.
on up there.
Oh, I have air conditioning.
Should let it rip. Turn it back.
Everybody will be frozen like
Yeah,
a
really.
minutes ago.
Okay, are you ready?
Yep, back on track.
Okay. Being the first day of summer, we thought we would discuss a new furnace for the library.
She's not paying attention.
She's not paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My humor is wasted.
Yeah. You missed the intro.
Do I have to go back and watch it on YouTube?
Yeah, I don't think it's worth that.
Okay, I haven't signed in, but I am still Chris Haig. And one of the things on the agenda, it said it was about furnaces. However,
It's singular.
I can give you an update on that, but I don't have, you had asked for local vendors. Again, I got no answer for a week. Finally, I got some numbers from Naomi, and I got a call back from one. And he came, but he hasn't given me a quote. And the other one didn't call back until sometime over this weekend. So I do not have 2 more quotes. I have the missing quote, and I'll share that with you if you want, but I'm really here about a tree.
Yeah, and can I just, Chris, I didn't know if you were gonna have numbers when we talked, that's why we left it on there as the
Okay.
Because I wasn't sure when you left whether you were
Right.
going to.
The only thing that you could do tonight, if you so desired, was to put it, give an up to number, and then let these other 2
I don't think we really
estimates
can
come
give
in
it up
and
to
let
them.
let the trustees figure out what they wanted to do. The one that I spoke about last time that wasn't in came in for $9,987, which I think is way high. So I have that one, and I talked to Jim Dumas, and he said he is licensed. He will send me information. He is licensed to put in sprinklers, and he can do whatever kind of boiler you ask for. So those are 2 things that I do know, because he calls me right back. It was hard with the others. And it may not be me, because it may be after June 30th, so somebody will follow up. My real question is about a tree, and it came up suddenly. We have several venerable old maples, and I'm not sure whose property they're on. That's the question. If it's the town's responsibility to take down a tree that is a safety hazard, then I have the very best quote I think we're ever going to get. If it's our responsibility, I will need to go back to the trustees and leave them something. Hopefully I'll get an exit interview. The first time a branch fell off the tree in the windstorm, it landed parallel to the building, about 4 feet away from the building. The second time, which was a week Thursday, it landed almost in the walkway, and it was a much larger branch. Jason Abair looked at it, and he said, there is no way we could save this tree. It's just old, and it's just aging. He gave us an estimate of $600 to take it down. I just need to know whether this is the town's responsibility. There's another tree that needs to come down that highway can take down. DPW can do smaller trees. This one is quite large, so that was my question.
Can you explain to them which one it is, Chris?
Yes, I can. If you're familiar with the library at all, with the layout, as you drive up Page Memorial Lane, you see the library facade, and it's marked no parking right there. Just beyond that, there are 2 handicap parking spaces. If you were to step a little bit south, there's a stone wall that runs along there, and the tree kind of it's sort of half and half. That's the problem. The one side of the stone wall definitely comes with the tennis court, and that parcel was in the trust when Ralph Hood put in the tennis court. The other side of the parcel is on our architectural plan when they did the addition, so I don't know. Also, is it a capital expense, in which case it would be the town maintenance fund, or is it an operating expense? I don't know. The tree itself is a maple, a very old maple, and it arches up towards the library roof on one side and towards the parking lot and the walk to the library. The branches that fell down so far have all been kind of on the side where the library walk is. But there is the potential for one or the whole tree hitting the roof if we had a hurricane. Haven't had one lately, so don't know. But,
Or a good windstorm.
well, it was a
heavy
really
winter
good
snow.
windstorm when that big branch came down. And luckily, it did not land on a vehicle or a person walking on the walk. And DPW was very responsive. They came right away, and they're to be thanked for that. That was good. But that doesn't mean that we should just leave it here, so we gotta figure this out.
And she got one price, and if you look at the purchasing policy, under $1,000 can be hooked up to the department.
Yep.
So she's asking, whose tree is it?
Yeah.
It's shown on there. It's shown
This is
on-
gonna be like the insurance claims that go, oh, it's yours, it's mine, it's
Yeah.
yours, it's mine.
I would, it
You mean-
shows on
You
their
mean
architectural
town or
plan.
library?
Correct.
You don't mean private citizen? or-
No, I don't mean that at all. I don't
Okay.
mean that at all. But I feel strongly about not doing, we need to do something, that's all.
Did you say it showed up on the architectural plan as yours or ours?
It's right where the stone wall boundary is, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It showed up on
When
the
I was
building.
we've come full circle. When I was a brand-new director and very wet behind the ears, we had to take down another tree further up. Same thing happened, and I believe the library had to pay for it. And it was 17 years ago, and it cost more than Jason's estimate.
Please split it.
That's what I was gonna say.
I was gonna say, we'll split the difference.
Yeah, well, I can't speak for the trustees, but if it were me, I would find the money to split it or to do whatever, just to keep people safe and to keep the
$600
rules
is not a lot.
safe.
The buildings.
Absolutely.
Yeah, or the building is, a person's walking in, I don't know.
Now, does the contractor that gave you the estimate, does he have a bucket lift?
Yes,
And, okay, I just
Yes.
wanted to make sure.
And
Yeah,
yes. As a reference,
Done some work for us.
Yeah.
on my personal property, we had a tree, and actually it was bounding the neighbor's property, and I know the neighbor, he lives in Massachusetts, but this tree had grown around telephone wires and electric wires that come to our house for service. It was a very tall tree, just as the maple is a very tall tree at the library. And he did a beautiful job, and the cleanup was excellent. So he used his bucket. And that's the only reason we discussed this, because he is very friendly with Benji Knapp, and we discussed whether the highway department has the wherewithal to do this, and he said probably not, but it's a matter of safety when you take down a tree that big, because sometimes they can fall funny if they're rotten.
Actually, the highway department contracts out a lot of their tree work
The big
along the
trees.
roads, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
no further
Huh?
questions. I'll leave it in your
Oh, yeah.
hands.
I
And
think we should probably see what the trustees do, if we wanna split it, $600 is not a lot of money for tree service.
No, not at all. I would not be opposed to the board just assuming responsibility and getting it done.
Yeah.
I
Correct.
agree.
You want that as a motion?
Sure.
Okay. I'll move to have a Bear Tree Service remove the maple tree that is in question near the library for the amount of $600
Second.
to come from the, is that government maintenance?
I
Government
think
building
we
maintenance?
just, we could use it as a building or an operating expense.
Okay, as an operating expense.
Second. I'll second it again.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
we thank you. Like the public thanks you. I would have scrounged for it. I also want to just thank you for all the time that you have supported the library. I probably will not be able to bring you the furnace bids myself, I will make sure that the
Chris, you have
follow-up.
to smile.
Why does this
Yeah,
woman
you'll-
smile?
Your last official act.
Oh, no, there's two of them. Yeah.
Go ahead. I don't need to say.
We bring our own paparazzi. One jacket. All right. I was thinking.
Chris,
All
do you
right.
have just one after, didn't mean to cut you off, but after, would you just talk about that statement policy? About the joint loss? There was a recommendation.
Oh,
last
yes,
week. Yeah.
yes.
And then I'll let you finish parting on that.
No, I just am very grateful for the support of the board and in representing everybody in Ware who has supported us. Really appreciate it.
Chris, the flip side of that is that each time you come in with some kind of a proposal, you've been probably the most prepared of any person who brings something before us.
It looks beautiful.
It's very, very seldom we have to say, go back and find out something
Oh,
else,
well,
because
thank
you're
you.
prepared, and that's why we're so quick to vote for your stuff.
Thank you. I've had a lot of mentors in the profession. The world of libraries in New Hampshire is very collegial, and they help each other. And they had to bring me up by my bootstraps, but I've had a lot of help, and I appreciate it. And Primex has done wonders in training, too. They're very good. So it's been a good experience. There have been some times, these are my gray hairs, but as far as the statement for joint loss, I went immediately to research it to see what I could find out, and I got from Phil St. Cyr that that language was not from Primex, that comes from the labor laws. So he elaborated on that at our last joint loss meeting. And what he said was that if we put an additional clause in the statement of safety that said that we would make every effort to keep people safe, it would not absolve anyone of their responsibility for safety according to the labor rules for New Hampshire. So, in effect, he was telling us that we can say what we want to say, but both in the eyes of the labor board and probably in a civil case, if there was ever a court case, we would have the same responsibilities that we would have anyway if we left that language alone. So, and he also said that we have to do our safety program every 2 years. That's a law. And I said, well, if we don't get that document signed, can I just put it in anyway? And he said, there's been more than one place that's put it in unsigned. So that would be what.
But with
we
that
would
being
do.
said, the answer, I think it was answered. I don't know if you want to sign this.
The answer would be this,
Leave it the same.
leave it as is, yeah.
I would rather personally have it signed and put in there signed than unsigned.
Unsigned.
And Chris and I have had that conversation too. It can go in unsigned, but there's, why unsign it?
It just adds, it just puts,
Well, from a management perspective, morale is always one of the most important things in getting productivity.
administrator's chairperson.
If you want people to give you something, you give them something. And so we should really be, we know, and Phil St. Cyr pointed this out too, we know we don't have the wherewithal to do all of the safety things that we probably could or should, because the voters don't always vote for those things. But if we advocate for them and do our utmost, that's our best. And that's what the labor board looks for, because they know that municipalities are different, so it's just what we do.
So if you want to authorize, I guess, the vice chair to sign
Yeah.
the statement policy.
I'll make a motion that the vice chairman sign the joint loss statement policy.
Thank you, Naomi.
Aye.
Aye.
And your note says you'll take it back.
Yes. You can keep that if you need it for
No,
anything.
keep it.
Okay.
Chris will take it back and distribute it, says.
What I will do is to make sure that I'll run off handbooks for everybody's building locations, put them out. That way, if we had a surprise inspection, we're good. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Okay, thank you.
Enjoy your retirement.
Enjoy it.
How many years have you been the director? 17.
Oof.
Yeah, I've been in the building 37 years.
Oof.
Yeah. And I'm 16.
Wow.
A bear, A-B-A-I-R.
I don't know, for your next item, Tom, I get back here at 6:20, there's no message and there's no email, I'm not sure how you wanna handle.
Okay, so you just want to pass over that for now? And
Well,
see if
I
we can
guess-
get other information before our next
Yeah,
meeting?
our
Okay,
next
so-
meeting is on a Wednesday, remember, it's the
Right.
6th.
July 6th. right?
July 6th, yeah.
And Keith is on vacation, he told me that tonight, so he won't be here. Are you on vacation too?
No.
Okay.
I'll be here.
But I'll see if I can round up even the other two, to even commit to one
Yeah.
project maybe.
Yeah, well, I think if, after looking at what came in on the one, from one contractor, I believe we're gonna have to kind of prioritize, take it apart.
Yeah.
And say, okay, like, let's fix the rot on the back of the building before it gets
Right.
worse.
Right.
Let's fix the gazebo so
Yeah.
it doesn't fall on anyone.
Right, and we can use it at the next two functions.
Yeah.
I think,
That's another thing, though, we have to take care of tonight, or at least give some direction tonight, because what's going to be done, we need to find somebody who will secure it in some way, so that when the patriotic celebration comes around, we'll be able to use the gazebo.
Right.
Which is what, the
15th and 16th,
Friday and Saturday, right, or Saturday and Sunday?
no, it's Friday and Saturday.
So if we
Friday,
wait
Saturday.
until the 6th, we'll only have like a week.
We
Or,
only give somebody 9 days to fix it.
yeah,
Yeah.
if we can look for somebody now, say, okay, what can you do just to assure that, you know, it's safe for these occasions? Whether it's running a couple of cables to the side away from where it's tilting or whatever. I don't know what other board members have as far as thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Well, you know it's inevitable. Even if we get roped off, people are gonna be around it, potentially over it. So
Yeah, I know.
I'd like
At
to
least
see
if we make
shore-
an effort, but
shore it up a little bit,
shore it up.
even if it's not repaired, at least,
Yeah,
shore it up
just,
for now.
usually they have some type of music presentation going
Right.
on there for both of those celebrations.
Right.
Usually there's something Friday night and Saturday night. Saturday
I
night is
don't-
usually a DJ
yeah.
just during the.
I don't wanna get in the fact just to halfway get it shored up just for this and then that, cause another issue. That's, you know,
Right,
just in a
yes.
rush, because sometimes the haste with it will be,
Would-
might be
Yeah,
worse
I
than,
mean, you definitely need to follow
So
through and
we-
have it totally
yeah.
redone. But I don't see us being able to do that on
Timeline.
the
No.
timeline, no.
No.
so there's two options, either get somebody to go in and shore it up, or just rope it off and not use it at all,
Mm.
so.
When you say shore it up, is that something the highway could put something under?
I think you'd have to get somebody that's specializes in
Right.
structures, you know, does some structural work, because it's not like a regular building, it's not square, it's, you know,
Hmm.
it's octagon, so it's like,
Received one.
The other person that asked for an extension, have you heard anything from them?
I spoke to him on Tuesday when he was here and told him that I needed, if he was gonna do it, I needed something for Monday, and he said he would, and I called him earlier today and left a message on the answering machine, and then I had a meeting, Southern with Solar Up. And, I got back at about 6:20 and went through messages, and there's no messages and there's no emails. I'm not sure where that is. No response.
I think we have to ask soon, because, first of all, I don't think the highway department should do it,
no.
because you want a contractor.
You want somebody who's licensed to do this, or is
So how,
experienced.
so if I get a quote tomorrow, how do you want to handle it?
Well,
Send it to us.
because we don't know, maybe somebody will say, no, I don't want to do that.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
So,
I guess I can send it to you guys, just don't group email it back,
Right.
just one at a time maybe.
Direct to you.
direct to you and give our thoughts.
Because I can try to get that done, because we do have to get something done.
Yeah, because like I said,
And it would be just to secure it and shore it up for safety for the two events.
yeah, to use it for the events, and then,
At least one immediate event,
Yep.
which is July. The next is on the end of August.
maybe maybe by the end of August it would be repaired.
What if we made a motion for a maximum amount of $1,000, which would stay within, or $999 or whatever?
I don't think that's enough.
To shore it up,
Just to shore it up?
You think it is?
I think that probably,
You do it up to, I can
Yeah.
always tell you this not.
up to
Yeah, well, that's right, and I
$1,000.
think we're closer to following procedure if we have something on the books that have been voted on.
Yep.
And then amend it the next time if it costs a little more than that, rather than having nothing and do a
Right.
phone tag thing, which really
Right.
isn't proper.
No, it's not.
Right.
Yeah, I think up to $1,000 that's the town policy as far as that, so,
That's before putting it up to bid, yeah.
yep.
Right.
Is that a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
We're good. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mhm. I think that's probably the best way, because I think, like I said, putting a highway department or having,
No, I just asked a
that's,
question.
yeah, no, I mean,
Liability and,
the liability, and they're not,
Yeah.
We're not
something
happy
could,
with-
they're not, they're not in that trade.
And if someone comes forward and says,
Hey.
we can get it all done before then,
Then, okay.
we'll see. Okay, next, anything else on the buildings? Approval of minutes from 5/23 and 6/6.
Oh, you want this for the, yeah, it didn't have the date approved of the selectmen's meeting, but you can do that.
The loader, I don't remember, I can fill in.
Yeah.
5/23, I only had changing Brian to Bruce on the
Yep.
Fillmore on the first page. Anyone else have anything on those? You good for a motion?
move to accept the May 23rd, 2016 minutes as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
June 6th. I'll run through the ones that I have. Page 4, next to the last paragraph, the next to the last line in that paragraph, where severe leaks were, I just inserted the word found in the propane supply line
It was on page 1.
on page 1.
You did say page 4.
Did I say page 4?
Yes.
Yeah,
She
so
was flipping.
I'm
I
like,
think
where
you're
the
talking
heck
about
is
the
he
fourth
reading that?
paragraph.
Fourth
Yeah.
paragraph, page 1.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yikes.
First paragraph, page 4.
sorry about that. Okay, so it's page 1, next to the last paragraph, second line up. Leaks found in the propane supply line. Page 2, third paragraph down, second line up, I crossed out the word will. The committee expects to meet once a month and felt this can't be rushed. Take out the word will. It said will felt. And then the last full paragraph on the page, the one that starts Danielle Erickson. If you go down to the sentence that starts with, had she known the road name would affect her home as well, I put a comma after well. And then that's all for that one. And then going down to the sentence that starts, she stated it's a sparsely populated road and her house can clearly be seen from, and I believe she meant Maplewald Road.
Right.
So instead of just the road, I made it Maplewald Road. Anything else on page 2? Page 3, second paragraph, second line, I inserted the word since. If they pass the house, oh, wait a minute. would be difficult for mutual aid responders to locate if they pass the house, since there is not an easy location to turn around. It needs something in there, and I use the word since. And then in the motion that's in bold, I replaced the word members with numbers. I believe that's what it meant. All numbers on the road remain as assigned. Going down to department heads, the second paragraph that starts with one quote. I just put a comma after the word maintenance in the first line, just for clarification. And then down in the last paragraph, I just put quotes around, the town will make every reasonable effort to comply with all safety and regulations. Anything else on page 3 from anyone? Page 4, first paragraph, cross the ED off opened in the second line, first paragraph, and put a comma after position in the last line. Anyone else have anything on page 4? Page 5, I have a question here. The motion, Selectman Meany made a motion, and it passed 4-1-0. Usually we've indicated the person who voted against, and I wasn't sure. I think it was Keith, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
What was it on? It was,
Solar up,
yeah, that was Keith. Keith voted against it.
and it wasn't because of,
You
Just
just
because of
didn't
lack
know
of
it.
he
information.
didn't have the
Yeah.
information.
Doesn't it say that?
I thought it did.
I had that in there.
I thought I read that
No.
too.
Oh,
Don't see it.
I know I wrote a note that said why, he stated why.
Yeah.
I thought I read that too.
Well, it doesn't tell in the motion who voted against it, and we've done that. I mean, I don't care if people don't want to do it, but we have in the past.
Oh, no, on page 4 is where the motion was made for the signing the solar up. That
This is
second one is for the hazard mitigation plan,
okay.
which
Oh.
is accepting government funds.
Yeah,
which
and
we
he
all
is-
know General
yeah.
Cass
Right,
against,
he
so.
didn't want it.
All right.
Right,
And he
so
voted.
it's two different motions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And yeah, he
I remember reading it too, I'm thinking,
yeah, it was the,
you're right, it was the hazard mitigation.
yeah,
Right.
that's right. I made the motion for that one too.
Okay, the only other thing on that page was, the line right above where it says administrative report at the end, it's a crate of surveillance cameras at the very end of that line,
Mhm.
of. Anything else on that page? A couple at the top of page 6. The deadline was May 31st, 2016. And then in the second paragraph, the no-through trucking data is being, I put collected instead of conducted. That's it. Anything else?
You want this?
Move to accept the June 6, 2016 minutes as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ricky, is there enough signatures?
As far as I saw, yes.
As far as I saw, that's a nice way.
Oh, that's a nice way to slide by that one. After,
I-
after the one on
I
June
think I'm
6th, there was only one
How
signature.
about the one that?
I'll check again.
Okay, just do
The one
that.
that they signed
Make
last
sure
week?
the,
They had the June
yeah,
6th
one
one.
did-
That one got signed by.
Yeah, I signed it.
but, no, I'm just saying the envelope that's got the green things for assessing.
Oh, yeah,
Make sure
yeah.
there's enough on all of those.
Yeah, no, I went down through those. Those might be them, but they
Thank
were
you.
all there.
Ones with all the solar ones. I get writer's cramp on the solar ones.
Yeah. me too,
Okay,
Rick.
manifest. I move that we order the treasurer to sign accounts payable and payroll checks dated June 23rd, 2016, as included in the following manifests. Payroll manifest of $66,073.42, and that includes weekly, monthly, and quarterly payroll, including insurance buyouts and stipends, which makes it higher than usual. The insurance buyouts are included to quarterly. There's an accounts payable manifest of $223,260.90, which gives us a total of $289,334.32. The following manifests were previously ordered to be signed at June 6th Selectmen's meeting, and that's a payroll manifest of $42,100.37. And that was for the weekly payroll of 6/16, checks dated 6/16. Also, since there is no Selectmen's meeting for Monday, June 27th, we also vote on the following: to order the treasurer to sign payroll checks dated June 30th, 2016, and July 7th, 2016, estimated to be about $80,000 combined. Furthermore, to order the treasurer to sign up to the amount of $50,000 for accounts payable that cannot wait until the next scheduled meeting of July 6th without incurring late charges or interest. Reports and actual check amounts will be reported to the Board of Selectmen by inclusion on the manifest memo at the next scheduled meeting, which will be July 6th.
Which I just want to add to you, that's why the 7th is in there, because payroll has to be released on the 5th for people to get paid. So you're not meeting on the 6th, so that's why she added that extra week. Just so you know that.
Do I have a second to this motion?
A second.
Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Couple things, did you guys all see the lease agreement for the Ford and Brown property? Tom graciously enough added the couple of things, that we needed to do. The idea was in case they want to open it for the public, maybe for the patriotic celebration, so, if you all had a chance to read it, it's pretty simple. It would just need you guys' signature on the very back page. It was voted at town meeting. I think it needs a motion because town meeting
Yeah,
authorized
authorized it.
the agreement. So if you just pick the line.
Take a line.
The second thing, I sent to you this afternoon a draft media policy, social media policy. I combined from my notes the best of what I thought Keith had given me and the Guilford one and some other ones, so, I imagine probably everybody wants to wait as a group and do it, seeing I just sent it out today. Just wanted you to be aware of that. I said I would have it ready for tonight, and there it is. So, I also, through the course of the week, sent you the, no-through trucking data that was collected.
That was an interesting read.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It took me a minute to figure out the 12 pages, and that's why I tried to give you the NB and SB was northbound and southbound. So my thought was to give Benji and Chief Kelly time to digest it. I'd like to have it on the 18th, so you've got time to study it. But it was very interesting, and I think that the sheet that gave you, which
Truck pictures?
little truck pictures, but it just,
seen
I
that many
wanted to
times.
understand the northbound and the southbound on both of them, so, just for the 18th, I thought I would put that back on so we can have a general discussion with Benji and the chief, so they'll have time to digest.
I was surprised it was only out for one day.
It was out for a week.
Oh,
Was it out for a week? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because each
Yeah.
page, I think, is
Is
a
a
day,
day.
and
Yeah.
then.
In a
because it
24-hour
goes-
period.
Right, it goes from, it's 24-hour period, and it's a week, and then it repeated itself.
Okay.
Mhm.
I missed
Because
that.
I was like, 12 pages, I already saw this, and it's northbound and southbound.
Yep.
So we picked them up. So just to let you know that you get time to digest it if you haven't studied it, I'd like to do that.
Obviously, I need to go back and study it.
And then, as I said, the only other thing is the social media policy that I had. I would, we have a non-public, I have to say, we have a non-public I need to discuss with what I shared earlier today with you. That's honestly, it's quiet.
Anything else?
No.
Anyone have anything under correspondence or other business for this evening?
How about public comment?
Second public comment.
Oh, second public
Public
comment.
comment?
Oh,
Come on, Jan.
come on, Jan.
No, just very simple. This payment of insurance buyouts? I thought that the insurance buyouts weren't being done anymore.
Oh, no, that's, the only ones that aren't being done. There was some confusion about the insurance buyouts or offering
Oh,
insurance to
okay.
people
You're right,
who were
the
32-hour
Yeah, of course.
employees.
You're right,
Yeah.
you're right, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
These are all full-time
Right,
employees
I'm
who
sorry.
take the buyout rather than the insurance.
I lost my head.
Well, I'm on page 4, so.
I was too.
Jen was looking at me like, what the
I'm
heck
like,
did
what
you
is going on? I'm not seeing it.
Okay, we do have a non-public.
Yeah.
And so I move that we go into non-public under RSA 91A3, Roman numeral 2, A and C.
Second.
Second. Oh,
Aye.
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 Aye.